It was a night I'd never forget, even though I promised I would. I'd been drinking, but wasn't drunk. I left the party early. I was being responsible. That was my first mistake. I had missed the bus by 5 minutes. It wouldn't stop here again tonight. That was my second mistake. I decided to cut through the alleyway to get to the other part of town. The last bus on the south side of town would still be able to take me home as long as I made it in time. I looked at my watch. I still had 15 minutes. I cut across the first two alleys with no issue. It was the third one that I'll regret for the rest of my life, which won't be long. But I'm getting ahead of myself. I entered the third and final alley I would have to cross, and it felt off. I was being watched, but that was crazy. I could see the whole alley, and there was no place to hide. And yet, I couldn't shake that feeling. But time waits for no man, and neither do buses, so I soldiered on. About midway, I heard something hit the ground behind me. Something had fallen from the roof. I turned and instantly wished I hadn't. There, crouched, ready to pounce, was the most horrible creature I'd ever seen. Its face looked melted. It had a long snoot, kind of like a dog, but the teeth, they were jagged and deadly looking. Its outstretched hands had razor-like claws, but the thing that stood out most was its red eyes. Red, and yet black, as though your soul would be sucked in if you stared too long. "No," I cried. "Please, don't hurt me." The creature laughed. "And what will you give me if I don't?" it asked. The voice, it sounded like gravel, mud, and hate. That's the best way I can describe it. "I won't tell anyone about you, ever. Until I die, I'll keep the secret." "But," the creature replied, "if I kill you now, my secret will still be safe." "Please," I pleaded. It paused and laughed again. "Very well, but if you ever tell another soul about me, as long as you live, I'll return to collect the life that I'm giving back to you." "Thank you," I mustered and ran out of the alley as fast as I could. True to my word, I never told. One good thing came of that night, though. I met my wife at the bus stop. I had made it just in the nick of time. She could see that I was upset and asked if I was okay. I said it was just nerves, the creature's threat still fresh in my mind. Over the years, we fell in love, married, and had a wonderful life together. It was our 10th anniversary, and I wanted to give her something special, something that I had never given anyone else. This secret. The fear I felt when I thought of the creature was still present, but it seemed so far away, so long ago that the threat just didn't hold any more weight. Besides, we'd moved halfway across the country. That thing was no doubt still terrorizing the locals of that town that I'd put behind me long ago. So I sat her down and told her my secret. I thought she'd laugh. I thought she'd think I was crazy, but instead she got this peculiar look on her face. Her face, it started to melt and reshape. In mere seconds, I was again staring at the creature from that fateful night. It laughed. "I knew you wouldn't be able to keep your end of the bargain, but I'll keep mine." It stood up and came towards me. That was the last mistake. The last one I would ever make.